An 8-year-old Arizona boy who's accused of killing his father and another man. He faces 2 counts of premeditated murder. Prosecutors have released videotape now of a police interview with the child in which he admits firing at least 2 shots at each man.
I started walking around the street towards my house, and I saw the door open, and I saw right there. And I ran, and I said, Dad, Dad. And I went upstairs, and I saw him.
And you saw him? Okay. And then what?
There's blood all over his face, I think. And I think I touched him.
You think you did touch him? What did you do when you touched him?
I just kind of would check if he was a little bit alive.
You checked if he was a little bit alive? Okay. And how did you do that?
I kind of went like that.
With your foot?
I think so, yeah.
Straight out to Mike Watkins with CNN affiliate KTVK in court today. Mike, heartbreaking. What happened?
Yeah, at so many levels, Nancy. This thing will just tear the heart right out of your chest. A little 8-year-old boy accused of shooting and killing his 29-year-old father and another 39-year-old family friend 2 weeks ago tonight. The little boy has been the subject of all kinds of international attention since that time. The day after the homicides, the 2 men were shot. That interview with police here in the little eastern Arizona town of St. John's conducted. A woman from the county sheriff's office and the local police department conducting that interview, in which the little boy at first says, basically, I didn't do it. I got home after school and I found my dad dead and the other man dead. Over the course of more than an hour, his story changes to where he's basically saying that he pulled out his gun. He never confesses to shooting the men, being the first shooter. He says that there were some unnamed, sort of faceless intruders who may have shot them, and then he pulled out his gun and shot them to put them out of their misery. You know, a convoluted story, but clearly the child saying in front of those investigators on that tape that he did pull the trigger and shoot each man at least twice. They were in court today trying to figure out what do you do with a little 8-year-old boy accused of what in essence is a premeditated double homicide.
Take a look at this interrogation.
How many times do you think you fired the gun? Let's try your dad.
I think twice.
You think twice? Do you think it could have been more than twice?
No, I thought it was twice.
Okay. You shot your dad twice?
Yeah.
Okay. And then how many times did that gun shoot?
I think twice to the mouth at my dad.
This is your room that we talk to people, and we make a promise to each other that we're only going to tell the truth. Okay? That means I have to tell you the truth. I can't lie. Can't lie, and you can't lie to us. Is that okay?
Yeah.
We're just going to talk truth, okay? We're not going to make anything up. We're just going to be honest, okay? Even if it's bad stuff, okay? We just need to talk the truth. Just us in this room. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
To Robin Sachs, juvenile prosecutor, joining us out of L.A. Robin, I just don't think this boy should go to jail. I just don't think an 8-year-old should go to jail. But I don't know what the answer is.
Nancy, I'm surprised actually hearing you say that. I thought that, you know, usually you're the tougher on crime than I am. And in this case, I just think that it is such a terrible message to not hold, even as sad as it may be, an 8-year-old culpable in some way, jail, mental facility, something, but
something,
to do nothing.
Yes, but jail, a typical juvie facility for an 8-year-old?
Well, if the elements of the crime are there and there is specific intent to kill and there is calculated evidence and you have a confession, if it's unfortunate, it's heartbreaking, it's sad, but it just may be the place for him for no other reason than to send the message to everybody that you are going to do the crime, you may have to do the time.
Well, you know, how many other 8-year-olds do you think are actually watching TV and learning about this? What message do you want to send? To who? All the 8-year-old viewers?
I think the message is being sent to all of the people around who are all the parents out there who are listening, who are talking to their kids, all of us who sit here and comment on these cases and it trickles down, I think that these do become the subject of conversations around
Well, you
families.
know what, Robin Sachs with us, juvenile prosecutor in Los Angeles. Maybe you're right. Maybe jail is the right thing, and I just don't want it for an 8-year-old boy. But maybe that is the only alternative. I don't know. Very quickly to James Ganello, firearms expert with Tria Consulting Group, joining us from New York. James, would the gunshot residue most likely still be on the boy's hands or clothing? He wouldn't know to get rid of it.
Not at this point, obviously, Nancy.
I mean, immediately after.
If it was soon enough, if it was timely enough, they could have tested the boy's hands for the presence of gunshot residue.
Let's unleash the lawyers in addition to Robin Sachs, Susan Moss, Renee Rockwell, Doug Burns. Renee, weigh in.
Are we assuming that everything that we've heard is just going to get into the court, Nancy? The first thing a defense attorney is going to do is try to keep that out.
Okay, agreed, but most likely it's going to come in.
Because
the child apparently voluntarily began speaking.
But how is a child that's 8 years old going to even know that he has a right not to talk about it? I mean, just because he's that young, that
And
we don't
why
have to
are
give
you
him-
assuming he wasn't read his rights?
How is a child going to understand the
The same way
admonition
you're
from
saying,
Miranda?
how's he going to understand he's got a right to a lawyer? I mean, he doesn't understand.
And Nancy, what are we going to do? Try him as an adult? Maybe we'll just let him represent himself.
I thank you for the
I mean,
snarky comments, but I'm looking for an answer, so just, you know,
Nancy,
put a sock in
there's no-
it.
it's
Sue
no
Moss,
answer.
you're the child advocate. What do you think?
Look, he may be the Doogie Howser of murderers, but that interrogation was disgusting. They repeatedly asked him again and again, did you shoot your father? Did you shoot your father? This was not a discussion with a witness. This was a discussion with a suspect. He should have had an adult. He should have had a guardian. He should have had a lawyer in there, and this was a disgrace.
Okay, you know what? I appreciate all of that, ladies, but the issue is the death of the father and the friend. That's what we're talking about right now. You can all gnash your teeth and switch your tails about should he have got Miranda, but I'm talking about what's going to happen to this kid. Doug, thoughts?
The reality is that he's so close in age to ages where there's no culpability, 6, 7. He's 8. He's not 16. He's not 17. This has to be handled and adjudicated as a juvenile matter. The rules of evidence and everything else are relaxed and much less formal, and that's what's going to happen, and he's not going to go to prison as an adult.
Very quickly, Ron Schindel, how do you approach a juvenile interrogation?
Well, there should have been an adult, whether it's the parent, the one remaining parent, or a guardian there in the room when the child was interrogated.
Shooting person in there.